Very good morning to each one of you. Esteemed chairperson of this very important zone meet of JC Satyanarayan Bhatt, the person who is responsible for me to be here this beautiful morning, Zone President, one and only Saujanya Hegde. I had the pleasure of knowing her as a small little kid, and she has grown to be one of the foremost talented ladies of this part of the country. And when she asked me whether I could be here this morning, in spite of the COVID discipline and in spite of my age, I agreed to be here. And all of you know, COVID, this pandemic, has infected already 198 million people in the world and killed about 4 million people in the world. And India alone, 31 million people have got infected, and more than 4 lakhs people have laid down their lives into this pandemic. So it is extremely necessary that we have COVID discipline at least for another few months till we win this war. It is for the benefit of all of us. And I am happy that most of you are wearing masks. Please socially distance yourself. It is a caution because you do not know who is next to you and who is talking to you. It is important that we do not shake hands. And even when you eat your lunch after this, please be careful that you social distance yourself. It's the need of the hour that once you get infected, and I hope all of you have had both the vaccines, and once you have the vaccine, at least the severity of the disease comes down. So if you hadn't had vaccine, please go and have it by next week. And coming to the other dignitaries, JC Sampath Suvarna, the galaxy of vice presidents of the JCs, galaxy of senior JCs seated in the front, and dear JC members. It is said, flattery is like perfume. It is to be smelt and not taken in. It is like a morning dew on a red rose in your garden. Enchanting to look, but you cannot have it as your own. I wish JC Shanthram Shetty, Shanthram Shetty, who introduced me in superlative words, I hope at least from today, I will live up to his expectations. Well, today we have met here on a zonal meeting of the JCs. When I was going through the JCs, I thought I did a mistake in not joining the JCs when I was a young man, between 18 and 40. JC was the first, Junior Chamber was the first international youth organization founded in St. Louis, Missouri, by Henry Gisenberg. What was just started as 12,500 members, today it has spread to 128 countries. And I am very proud that India has the second largest membership in the world, and it has produced many good leaders like you and you, who have made it possible to be here and made your contribution in the society at large. The main theme of JCs, if I have understood well, is to develop leadership and train leadership. What is leadership? A senior professor, Mr. Bruce, came to his class one day and told his students, "Look here students, today will be your examination day. All that you have to do is write in 15 minutes an essay on what is courage." What is courage? Simple. There are 20 students. Each one started writing. Immediately the answer paper was given. One started writing climbing Himalayas is a courage. One started writing facing a tiger in the deep forest is courage. There was a small little boy who would not write anything at all. The teacher was surprised. He again warned, this is an examination and it will be counted for your final assessment. You start writing. And at the end of 14 minutes, this boy just got up, scribbled 2 words, and just gave the paper to the teacher. The teacher was flabbergasted. I have told him it is examination. This boy has the audacity to just 2 words and just pass it on to me. But he collected the papers, went home and inquisitive, because he was an intelligent boy, but he was very arrogant that day. He had just written, "This is courage. This is courage." This boy, knowing that it was examination, had the courage to tell his examiner and prove and demonstrate to the examiner that this is courage. Courage cannot be defined. Courage cannot be described. Similarly, leadership cannot be described. Leadership has to be shown. Leadership should be cultivated. And each one of us have to show that leadership in our everyday life. Unfortunately, even the media people must be here. When you talk of leadership, they only mention of political leaders as leaders, with black, red, white and yellow and whatever caps they wear. But they are not leaders. Leaders are you and me. In my own profession, if I show my leadership, that is leadership. And if Saujanya shows her leadership in her own profession, that is leadership. Time has come to see that leadership is not a bygone era of just the political leaders, but it is yours and our right to lead us to the leaders in the society to be a better society. So what is leadership? What are the main features of leadership? I thought I will share my thoughts in leadership than any other subject today, because all of you between 18 and 40 years of age are the future of this country. What I have done as a senior citizen of this country is a different question. What you can do, each one of you, to my country, is what is important. I do not know how many of you read the Pew Research by the United States of America. They divided the age into different groups. The pre-World War era, the immediate post-World War era, up to 1946, they called it the traditionalists. I think in the whole hall, I am the only one who belonged to that particular era. We were traditionalists, we were calm and quiet, we did our work, we did everything to our satisfaction. But next came from 1946 to 1960, they were called the baby boomers. Baby boomers were very flamboyant people, post-World War era people. If you see the Nobel Prize winners, the best of the scientists in the world, it is all who belonged to between 1946 and 1960. They got whatever they wanted. Then came a little decline. And they were called from 1960 to almost 1990, 1980, where they were called the XYZ millennials. XYZ millennials, and all of you between 18 and 40 are the Y millennials who are between 18 and 40 years of age. You are as good as baby boomers. But it is this research I am telling you, but you are more lazier. Because your parents were rich. You got whatever you wanted, unlike the baby boomers or my generation of people. That's why the laziness set in. You take the example of Japan, who led the world after the post-World War era because of the baby boomers, came down because of the XYZ millennials. So it is up to you, the XYZ millennials, especially in a country like ours. Our Prime Minister openly tells that the biggest strength I have in my country are the younger generation who are between 20 and 40 or 40 and 60. To an estimation today, we have nearly 40 million younger generation, which is double the population of Australia. So what is important is you and you alone who can make a difference in our country. I feel sad many times. We got independence 74 years ago. Still 15% of our people are below the poverty line. About 10 to 12% are not well educated, not even educated. More than 10% of the people do not have a house to live in and proper clothes to wear. So it is time we get up and see what best can be done. So my plea, dear ladies and gentlemen, at least from today, be innovative. Be motivated. Motivation are of three different types. Motivation, one is fear motivation. Your boss tells if you do not do your work properly, you will be out of the job. That is fear motivation. You do your job because of fear. Second is award motivation. Your job, your chief tells if you do your work well, I will give you a promotion. That is an award motivation. Motivation has to come from our heart. The heart motivation, with which we can do whatever we want to do and not what others want you to do. That is the real motivation. Be innovative. Change is the very element of life. What I have taught my students just 10 years ago in orthopedic surgery is obsolete today. Is not even good enough for many textbooks to be written. What I am teaching today will be obsolete in just 10 years' time. So what is important is to be is to change with time. Change is the very element of life. Number 3 is work hard. Work hard with faith. Many times, laziness creeps in people, destroys them. There is no alternative to working hard in life. And with faith and determination. I give you 2 examples of Edmund Hillary, the famous mountaineer. In 1957, many times he tried climbing Himalayas, Mount Everest. And in 1957, he almost reached the peak, 100 yards. A storm came in, he couldn't complete his mission. But he turned back to Mount Everest and said, "Oh, don't be proud. I'll be back again. I will conquer you." And that was the faith and determination, and he did it in 1958. Take Thomas Alva Edison, who gave us this electric bulb, light. He failed 1,433 times to ignite that light in that electric bulb. A media person asked him, "How is that, Mr. Edison, that you tried 1,400 and odd times and you had the tenacity to go on?" "No, Mr. Pressman, I told the scientists and the people in the world how not to light 1,400 times, and 1,436 times I taught them how to light a lamp." That is the faith and determination. That should be your faith in life, as youngsters in life, that I will do. The next plea I have is to fight corruption. Corruption. Not that in the United States there is corruption, in the United Kingdom there is corruption. But the corruption in our country is of a different type. No paper moves in any table in any government offices or any offices unless there is a paper weight on it. So it is time, you youngsters, what I have done is a different question, leave it alone. At least you must see that corruption is the greatest sin in our country. So see that each one of you fight this corruption to the last limit. Finally, the values in life. You know, Aranya Parva, the Mahabharata is the greatest epic of mankind. There is no better epic than the Mahabharata in the history of mankind. In Aranya Parva, when the Pandavas went to Yaksha's Sarovar, all of you know all the 4 brothers died because they drank water without Yaksha's permission. Yaksha was the Yamadharmaraya himself, which many people do not know. And Dharmaraya pleaded, "Oh, save my brothers, what can I do for you?" He said, "If you can answer 100 questions what I ask, I will give you life to all your brothers." The final question he asked was, "Who is an Adarsh Purush?" Who is an Adarsh Purush? Yudhishthira, without winking, just replied, "A man who is without greed, a man without hate, a man without jealousy, and a man who encompasses love and compassion is a real man." He is a real man or a real woman. That is what we have to take out in life. There is enough in this world for every man's need, but there isn't enough for a single man's greed. It is money. You see the politicians, it is money. You see any corrupt person, it is money. Yes, money is honey. I also love money. But An old man jokes are always funny. That is the cruelty of life. Money should automatically come to you if you work hard. That should be the theme of your life. Dear ladies and gentlemen, Saujanya and the team of workers, it has been a pleasure to me to share a few of my thoughts on this very important day. My only plea is, let us all march forwards, firm in our faith, sustained in our confidence in the will of God and promise of men and women like you to lead this great country of ours as to what it was just 700 years ago. Many of us, you may not know that we were the richest country in the world just 750 years ago. China was number 2. But today we are 136th. At least when one of you deliver a lecture like me in your 70s, let us be one of the most prosperous countries in the world. To end my lecture, to quote the famous Vedas, Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu, Ma Kaschit Dukh Bhav Bhagit. Let all be happy. Let all be healthy. Let none of us suffer. And may God bless you all on this great day. Thank you.